Captain Planet, he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to 0. Yes! Hi guys, Copperraven here. How is everyone today? Welcome to my very first CAS. I'm so excited about this. This is Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Say hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So, some of you are quite a bit younger. These are the characters from a cartoon that I grew up watching. It played in the early 90s. I believe, let's see, according to Wikipedia, it started in late 1990 and it went to 96. Although I didn't watch the last year or two of it because at that point I had already moved in with my father who, let me watch more age-appropriate things. But that's a story for a different time. Anyway, Captain Planet and the Planeteers. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, so for those of you that don't know, Captain Planet and his gang of teenagers went around saving the planet from destruction and pollution, etc., etc. So one day, Gaia, the spirit of the planet, if you're up on your mythology, she is woken up by these people that are drilling and realizes how bad the planet has actually gotten with pollution, which it is, the 3 R's, people: reduce, reuse, recycle. And so she creates Captain Planet and 5 element rings, which are earth, air, fire, water, and heart. And she sends them out across the rings out across the globe, and they go to these teenagers, in all different parts of the world, and they all come together to form the Planeteers to, save the world. So the first person I started with, as you can see, I started working on him, is Captain Planet. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to include any photos of him, but feel free. Most of the information that I'm telling you either comes from my memory or I did pull up Wikipedia, if you're doing a research paper, don't trust Wikipedia, but it's okay for stuff like this. Yeah, Captain Planet, he was the first one I did. Now you can see he's blue. If you pull up a photo of him, you can see that he's quite studly. In fact, I was I was making sure that I made him buff enough and made his jawline right, and definitely had him looking like a superhero. So he has blue skin, crazy green hair. He's supposed to look like the planet. He's Captain Planet. Now in the show, he does wear a red cape and like this, I don't know, it's almost like a alien type V-neck thing that comes down, and they all wear these symbols that look like a grid of the planet, kind of. And that's, the Planeteer symbol, and all of them wear different color shirts with that symbol on it. And although I couldn't find that for all the characters, I did try to get as close to what I thought that they would wear based on their outfits and based on their personalities and what type of power they had in the show. So this is Captain Planet, like I said, that I'm working on now. I'm trying to find he had these crazy red boots that he wore, so almost up to his knees. The closest I think I could come was the cowboy boots. His outfit was a little silly, but, whatever. When you're saving the planet, it doesn't really matter, I guess. And, and he did wear the red budgie smugglers. Yeah. Anyway, I still love him. I'm still in love with Captain Planet. He's such a good guy. Yeah, I quite like how he turned out. I I put him in the red Speedo and the gloves, because he did wear gloves in the show. It was more of like his outfit was more of like a leotard with the budgie smuggler, only no legs to it, if that makes any sense, and then cowboy boots. I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous if you just describe an outfit like that, but trust me, go look up a picture and you'll see what I'm talking about. And yeah, he came out pretty good, and of course I gave him he wants to be a friend of the world. I think I gave most of them like friend of the world traits, and he definitely needed to be an outdoor lover. I can't remember what else I made him. I think I definitely made him super smart, because he was a crime fighter. I made him creative, and yeah, so he came out really good, I think. So the next person that I did on the crew, so his crew is called the Planeteers. They, according to Wikipedia, the Planeteers are summoned by Gaia to help defend the world from pollution caused by criminals and villains, as well as natural disasters. That's what it says right on Wikipedia. There are 5 teenagers. Technically, one of them is still kind of a kid. He's more of like a preteen. He's the youngest one. So like I said, it's earth, fire, wind, water, and the 5th element is heart, which represents love. And that one, love, communication, etc. He can trigger like empathy and telepathy and stuff. So the first person that I worked on was the first person that was summoned by the ring. It was Kwame, and he was one of my favorites. Now, he was from Ghana, Africa, and he was my favorite because he was, of course, voiced by the fantabulous LeVar Burton. I love him so much. I grew up watching Star Trek, and so, anything where you can hear Geordi's voice, it was great. So he has the power of earth, so, I tried to make his clothes seem earthy. They really, in the show, they all wear those shirts. They all wear the different colored t-shirts, like I said, with the earth grid type symbol right on the chest. And then they all wear like these, either a coat or, well, all of them wear like these vests almost, like they're gonna, it's almost like the outdoor retreat vest there that the Sims have. And I think I did put that on, end up putting that on him in the end. He had a flat top, and he was the de facto leader of the group. He grew up in a tribe in Africa, and he is the power earth, so he has the earth ring, so he can control plant life. Let's see, I think it says on Wikipedia that he had his greenhouse on Hope Island, where the Planeteers live. And yeah, he's always the one that would step in and give everyone the big old pep talk when everyone's spirits were down and out and nobody knew which way to go. I think he came out really good too. If you get a chance, you should really download a couple episodes of this show. It's fantastic. Anyway, okay, so on to the next Planeteer. I did Wheeler. So Wheeler was the American on the Planeteer crew. He was from New York, and of course, he was the tough talking wise guy who always seemed like he had a bad attitude and didn't want to listen to what anyone had to say about anything, really, and just would always be so pissed off about everything. Typical teenager, angry at the world, basically. And he controlled the power of fire, obviously. They said that he was also the most street smart of the group. So, you know, if people were lying to them or trying to trick them, he was usually the first one to pick up on it. And he always had his heart in the right place, which is why he was part of the group. I always liked him just because, you know, he was the ginger of the group. He had a little bit of a temper. He was the third one to be summoned. Let's see. And he, you know, like I said, he was basically the hothead of the group. He had this wild and crazy hair and like the big duster coat, and he always wore those fingerless gloves. Just thinking about it gives me the giggles. You know, it's so funny too, because I was always just like, oh, Wheeler, he's such a bad boy. And oh gosh, kids, we're so funny. Okay, and let's see. So yeah, you know, with Wheeler, I did give him the I couldn't really figure out what to put him in, so I kind of gave him a couple outfits, what I thought he might wear, you know, if he wasn't wearing his Planeteer shirt. I could have just given him all the light bulb shirt. I think I did in some cases, just for like the everyday thing. And yeah, so that one came out good. So the next one I did, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can hear me clicking my mouse, but I'm scanning through the video. So while I'm doing my voiceover. So the next person that I did after Wheeler was, let's see. It was Matai. So he was the last Planeteer to be summoned. He is also the youngest. He's still pretty much a kid. I mean, like, if you watch the show, they all look like, you know, the teenagers look like they're like 17, 18 maybe. He looks like he's probably like 10. That's not the case. I think, you know, he's probably supposed to be more like a preteen, but whatever. Anyway, so he's from Amazon, Brazil specifically, and according to Wikipedia, because I had to look it up because I couldn't remember, he was raised by a Kayapo Indian shaman. He has the powers of heart, telepathy. He cares about people and, you know, wants people to care about each other and the planet and animals and plants and everything. He also is the first, you know, he's linked to one of the, he's linked to Captain Planet telepathically. Well, I guess more empathically, because he can feel when he's hurt, so he knows if he needs help and needs the Planeteers to come together and like give him a boost with their rings, or, you know, whatever it is. These powers combined. So yeah, when I first started making him, I actually made a mistake and started making him more of a teenager, and I was like, he's just not looking right. And then I remembered that he was quite a bit younger than the rest of the group, so at that point I pulled up a photo of Captain Planet and the Planeteers and went ahead and it was like, oh, I should probably make him a little bit younger. Oh yeah, and the cool thing about him is he has a pet monkey that rides around on his shoulder, who, you know, does its fair share of mischief. Yeah, he came out pretty good, I think. I gave him his little vest there. I was trying all kinds of different stuff out. Yeah, so yeah, he ended up with a little green vest. I couldn't really find much else. And I did end up putting all of their rings on them, so don't you worry about that. So the next one I did was Linka. So she was our blondie from the group. Linka was from the Soviet Union, you know, back when it was still called that. You know, I still have a globe that says the USSR on it. Yeah, that's how old my globe is. Anyway, so later on in Wikipedia they do state, but in later episodes stated as being from Eastern Europe after the communist regime collapsed. Linka has the power of wind. She likes birds, and she gets really, really upset about pollution or illegal hunting and stuff like that. Let's see. Wheeler is in love with Linka, but she's just like, whatever, brushes him off. She was the fourth one to get her ring and be summoned for the Planeteers, and she's like their computer expert. She's their like whiz kid of the group. She does all their strategizing and their logic stuff, and she was a great character. I quite liked her. She was feisty little blondie that she was just like, you can imagine. I'm serious. You seriously need to just watch a couple episodes of it. So the last Planeteer that I made was Guy. So Guy was from Asia, and she controls water. I'm a Pisces, so that's one of my favorite elements. Water is pretty unstoppable, and she's the only one of the Planeteers that actually needs to have the element close by to be able to use it. Wheeler, he can just make a fire. Linka can just make wind, and Matai, he can just use his telepathy or his empathy and make people feel what other, even what trees are feeling, if someone cuts them down. But she needs to be near water to be able to use her thing, and she could do some pretty cool stuff with it. She's a teenager, but in this show, she always said she was like a marine biologist, but I think she just really liked water. She was she really liked dolphins, which I liked her when I was a kid just because I like dolphins too. Who doesn't like dolphins? They're super cool. And she also was kind of like their greaser of the group. She worked on the machines and, figuring out clues from, their pollution crime scenes and stuff. And, yeah. she was fun. She cares a lot about the whole group and Captain Planet and everyone, just like all of them do, which is why they are Planeteers. These powers combined. Anyway, yeah, so if you get a chance, take a peek. This is my... Oh, that's right. And I did throw in a bonus sim at the end there. I did do Gaia. You can see her here, at the very end. I did her up really quick. And I thought she came out quite a bit like how she looked in the series, actually. You don't see her that often, but she does leave a lasting impression. Her voice is done by Whoopi Goldberg, so, that's to be expected. Alright, anyway, I hope you guys like this. I went on way longer than I meant to. The next cast I do, I won't blah 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 all over the place. But I did do a show that is a bit, older that not everyone remembers. And yeah, just fun fact, the Captain Planet theme song is the ringtone on my phone. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you are also a Captain Planet and a Planeteer fan. If not, go check it out, download it, buy it, whatever you need to do. Watch it. It's great. Old nostalgia is awesome. I have a couple older shows in mind to do for some CASs. Anyway, I'm excited. I love you guys. I'm glad to be back. And I really hope you enjoyed it. All right. Check me out on Twitter at Copperraven42. And again, yeah. Okay. Now I'm really going to go. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Give me big luck. Bye, bye, bye.